Okay, so this is my hour of writing the memo and explaining why and how and what's going into the memo. I've already opened up a few links to help me get going. Here are the notes. This one is the notes I took the other day from some of the different articles I read. I also have um, ready to go delicious, so I can look through if there's some other things I need. Um, a little outline getting ready to go here, where I'm going to write it, and then another reference here. So um, first in my notes, what I've done right before I opened up here is I kind of made myself a little note about what we have to do. Um, I found in the reading, but it also kind of supported what I thought were the problems of the teachers with 20 years experience, highly resistant to technology. Um, I think probably a big one, and I agree with this, is the lack of confidence and um, or a holding on to what they know what works, and so they have less confidence on how they're going to work their technology in. So that's one of the things we need to tackle in the memo, how to help them get more confidence in inserting it without losing the success they've had over the last 20 years. As for all new initiatives, a lack of time trying to fit it in with everything else that they're doing already is always a problem. And then the lack of having resources. For the new teachers using technology for fun rather than learning, I didn't really find specific research on that. Um, but I'm thinking it has a lot to do with being new and not really um, basically not having the experience to know, and maybe not having a clear idea of what the goals in the lesson is and that kind of thing. And as for substitute teachers, how would they work into this? Day-to-day substitute teachers are probably more or less going to be reliant on the lesson plans that are left by the teacher there, and that teacher um, really needs to make sure that if the substitute's going to use technology, that they have everything that the teacher needs to do that. Long-term subs, they're probably a lot kind of fall between the two groups. Some some long-term subs have a little more leeway of what to do, and so they just need to make sure that they know good ways to use it, and we'll talk about that when we do the memo. Um, some of them are more restricted, so not necessarily having the knowledge of what's available at the school. So we'll see what we can do there. So onto my memo itself. I have just copied the assignment up here so I have something to refer to as I write this. Um, my big idea is to form, I don't know about typing and talking at the same time can be difficult, is to form um, teams. And by that I mean to team a veteran teacher with a new teacher and possibly, if necessary, a long-term sub. And the reason for this is they can learn from each other and help each other, um, and to help for as far as the um, time constraint that a lot of teachers feel tough is that they would have a common planning period where they can talk about how to implement it. And what could happen here in this is that the veteran teacher um, could would be responsible for um, the outline, the outline of the lessons. I'm not that sure if that's what I mean. The vision I have in my head is that they work together. The teacher, um, the veteran teacher, maybe observes. Probably for the outline of the lesson. Sharing with the other teacher what they've been doing, um, how they've been doing the lesson. Or just share their methodology. And then the new teacher would take that outline of what works and finds a way to integrate the technology. And my theory behind this method, is that well, let's see, how do I want to do this? The areas that for the veteran teacher, thinking how I want this to look. It's much easier when I'm standing in the shower thinking about it than when I sit here trying to write. Well, this team approach, one is learning from the other, and um, having the common planning period takes away the time constraint. Let me go back to my other notes here for a minute. Okay, so for the time thing, let's see, how do I want to? Maybe I want to organize this a little bit different. This is Mr. Principal here. Let me back up here a little bit. Okay, so so okay, so how to persuade the veteran teachers. I'm going ahead and get this typed, and I'll go back and do all the other stuff I need to. We need to provide time to integrate. We need to make sure the resources are in place. and we need to help them. What was the other one I had? It was lack of confidence. Um, we're going to start with the veteran teachers, and then we're going to work the new teachers and the substitute teachers into this. Okay, so or the time to actually plan to integrate the technology. So again, I would have them make teams, as they had before. And I want to give them common planning periods. So that once or twice a week they can get together and plan, make plans on how to put the technology in there. And by having someone who is good with the technology, i.e. the new teacher, can help okay. And in return, the veteran teacher can help the new teacher to make sure the content's being taught. Emphasizing lessons. Okay, hopefully you have an idea of what I'm talking about from there. And again, once I get this kind of planned out, and I will try to do this clear and how to do this. Like I said, it's kind of hard for me to type and talk and explain at the same time. But at least you'll know where I'm coming from. Let me get some research in here. Oh, and I forgot about the sub. The sub would just kind of fall in here. It would be part of the team. Um, if it's a long-term sub. Um, and as I alluded to, day-to-day subs. That would be the responsibility of the teacher. And I'm probably going to put that at the end and do a little more with that in a minute. So let's get some notes in here that will support this. And I'm going to look at this one first. This is from whatever that light bulb one is. It's by John Spencer. 11 Reasons They Aren't Using It. So again, here we're talking about computers, tablets, and mobile devices, and that's part of the they need to define what the resources are. Back here, under resources, what kind of technology is part of the plan? Are we talking simply whiteboards, smartboards, versus chalkboards? Although they're magic marker ones, they're not magic marker, but thing escapes me right now. Is that what we're talking about? Are we talking about computer labs / charts? Is it laptops or iPads or tablets? See what else does he have in the 11 reasons. Okay, or are we talking about like web tools and other multimedia software? I mean, there's a whole list of things. Probably in the 3 years, we probably start with one set of these and work our way up, depending on what the idea is there. These all come from, let me go back there. When I highlight, these all kind of come from Spencer. Somewhere I read that when we cite these, we just have to, let me make sure I got the right, I remember what it is. Back here. I'm trying to make sure I cite things correctly. I know I read it in here sometimes. I'm just looking for that again. Here we go. Just indicate sources in parentheses at the end of any sentences that need citing. Okay. I will get a longer citation on that later. Right now I just want to make sure I know where it comes from. Now, what did I lose? Where did I lose? Okay, let's do some more from Spencer here first, and then we'll come back to some other notes I have. New technology is frightening. Yeah, it is. Letting go of control, that's the big thing, and that's what we need to get the veteran teachers to do, let go of the control, to do that. My experience in Rochester, the veteran teachers have things planned right to the very, they do the same thing the same day, worksheets, whatever, and I think they are very resistant to it, so that's, I understand all this. So professional development is something they need there, but I think one of the important things is having actually take place in the classroom, and that's why the teams would be, rather than just be shown like at an in-service, hey, this is our professional development, hey, this is a really cool thing to use, and then just sending them back to the classroom to figure out how to use it themselves. That's the kind of the team approach, is that they can spend some time together, showing each other how to use it, and then be there when they find a way to be there when they are actually implementing it to make sure it works. That takes place of what they lack and their own belief. And I think this is why they've seen it. It's cool. They can buy in, but then if they're responsible for the testing, they're not so sure that the testing. They want to make sure that the assessment um, that defines their teaching, that the schools use to say yes, you're a good teacher or not. Um, Look back good on them, I guess is what I'm thinking there. Um, Not sure I'm verbalizing it the way I want to, but I understand it though. Um, and this is probably a big thing for the veteran teachers too. They see it as entertainment more so than as learning. Um, and our newbies are doing it more as entertainment possibly than learning. So that's the thing we need to do. Lack of leadership, I'm not worried about that right now because I'm writing this for the principal, so he must be um, interested in making sure that the challenge is there. And that's up to him to keep that in place, um, for the administrator to make sure those concerns are. I thought this one was pretty funny. Um, what am I supposed to do with these? And yet they do the same thing in learning centers, and yeah. Enough past behavior happens everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's online or in the classroom without it. So, and this is the big thing I was talking about, the instructional strategies that they're used to try to do something different. And so that's hopefully how we get the new teachers to help with that. So anyway, so that's. I'm just looking for our veteran teachers. I'm assuming that their non-tech approach, because it says successful teachers, so I'm not sure that really applies to them. It's not necessarily wrong. Um, I'm assuming we have the technology. Um, okay, so that's what I got from there. Let me go back through some of our notes and see what I can get from there. I'm just going to substitute any subject in there. Obviously, the veteran teachers have the in-depth understanding. Um, they have their own pedagogy, so that they're going to have to switch a little bit maybe in technology. How to get these together. So, and that's how they're going to work together. The newbies have this part of it, the veterans have this part of it. So now it's put those two together. Again, this is key part for the eccentric teachers. They're no longer the center of attention, no longer in control. They've got to learn to give that part of it up. The pretty conventional classrooms that stress those different set of challenges. Okay, that's what we're trying to get. Um, it's very sensitive. This isn't really what we're talking about here. I'm trying to find things that support my idea for getting them to use the technology. And this, well, this wasn't exactly what we're talking about the new teachers as far as fun, but it's kind of in the same. The kids get so caught up in type bond, audio clips, whatever they're doing there. Again, the newbie gets caught up in having fun, not necessarily the product, not necessarily the out, math outcome or lesson outcome. It's more getting that technology in there to play with. And this might be what they're talking about. One computer lab with several students with a research paper assignment spent the entire period coloring and editing and um, kind of off-task behavior, sort of. Seems trying to focus away. These aren't necessary notes that we took on ways to persuade teachers to do it. It's more embracing and not embracing. Trying to find the words I want. I don't necessarily want to copy any of these. I'm just trying to put into words my ideas. again, this is kind of on the same lines as a newbie teacher, allowing students to use their own electronic devices, which is one way they can get around the resource thing. If they're too engaged in the resource rather than the material. So, right, this person's future wants to see what they did there. In fact, maybe I'll do that right now. Just want to kind of go through it real quick. This is a tool that the veteran teacher, if they know how to do polling apps, they could use that because kids don't like to raise their hand necessarily. So I mean, that's one thing that maybe she could start with, is just learning how to use polling apps. Get the clickers and do that. Okay, I'm going to go back to this author and see if I can find where they wrote about that deals with the concerns in the near future. We're playing instead of that. Let's see if I can find their address for this. This one right here. So. This is Megan Man. Let me go back to my notes. What was it that we wanted to find there? This one time. Let's try to engage in their own apps and see if that helps find me something in hers. Search. I'm gonna go to try that and see what we find. Oh, no results. Go back again. Let me see what I can find. Maybe I'll just type her name in. Find her name and let it go. Nothing in that. Oops. Yes, I'm talking to myself now. Trying to figure out how I can figure out how to read more about her. So give me just a minute here. Hopefully this works. I want to move this one for me. Find more by her. See what we can do. Maybe she hasn't written any more on that lately. Let's see back. I really wanted to see what she said. Okay. Let's see. This is my problem. I start reading other stuff and then I lose sight of what I'm supposed to be doing here. Um, that's not really what I was looking for. Mm, just curious what these were. Okay. Um, so any things that they could help them do. So, I'm gonna go back to my memo and write down some more ideas I had. I didn't really get anything directly from there, but um, one of the notes I don't know if you saw. One of the notes I had back here, advice from someone. Actually, let me go through the rest of my notes first, and I'll go back to that. Okay. I'm a big believer that students should be able to bring their own technology in, and then we can find ways of using it. That's not really what this question is about either. So, I'm reading the next one here. Again, this is another one about letting them use their things. Now, part of our lesson plan is our toolbox. Okay. That's a big thing, is learning what tools they can use. Same thing. And this is one of the problems I was talking about for them. You know, they get trained on it, and then by the time they get back to the classroom to use it, it's already out of sync there. Not force math on them, which is what the principal wants us to do. To do a slow plan would be good, not to put it on real fast. And here's the thing: discover the technology champions in your school. Work with them to understand the varied pieces of equipment and systems. Um, I mean, these were suggestions to teachers, so um, make sure they're trained with it, and then have them take it back. So that's learning from peers. So that's the theory behind mine, is that we're taking the experts to take the message back to their team, doing it in small teams rather than that, so they can work one-on-one when they need to. Okay, so this is kind of where it's coming from. I didn't really necessarily get it from here, but that's the idea I had in mind. So um, if I have to have like a resource, we'll put this in there just so that we put that up here somewhere. Like I said, after I get done recording, I'll make this prettier and to turn in. Right now, I'm just trying to get the stuff there and what is it? And this was by Jerry Dahl. I'll put more later if I need to. Get the website too, if I forget. I'll work that in someplace. Again, I'm going to work on making it pretty when I get done doing this part of it. Going through my notes some more. Okay, they need to be required, but in ours we want it voluntary, not necessarily required. Um, this we don't want this. That was really exciting or interesting article. Okay, so we need empowerment, and here's the problem right here with um, teachers reject the divert from their attention, so we want to make sure that they're getting attention on the instruction. Do more with fewer resource. Okay, and they just teachers need part of the lesson plan, so we will do that. More inclusion. I mean, teachers on board is changing the way they learn. It's too late for that part. That's not really what I want. That's not necessarily ours. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to be reading this out loud, but I'm just trying to figure out um, the problem with reading everything out loud. It doesn't let me focus in on stuff, so I'm just trying to focus in on what I want to focus in on. Talks about how non-education people have it easier than the college of education because they don't have a certain pedagogy in mind. I'm going to copy this over so I can work a little bit more as I write my memo. Another thing that I can use for um, sources that we want. So move that over to the other one so I have something to work with later. Um, I guess the problem I'm having is figuring out how to work the sources into the oops, whole thing today. That's the right one. Yeah, okay, this is the teacher bashing one, so let's stop right here. There it is. And let me find who wrote this. This was written by these guys. Okay, so I'm going to that to okay, what else did I have here that we were going to use? I'm sorry, I'm talking soft now. It's so much easier when you're talking to somebody. Enter prepares to persist. I find this interesting. No more new teachers, no more likely than the veterans. Um, although we're getting somebody who is good at it, or who is interested in it. like this. Ultimately, though, the final decision is to adopt or reject lies with the individual teacher. So one of the things we need to do in this is help them understand why they should use it, not reject it. So obviously, it's coming from the administration here. Again, we talked before, lack of time, instructional support. This one I didn't use, but the teacher for anything. I'm going to move this to help on my memo too, because I think this is key. I'm going to work part of this into there, then get an author on here too. Here we go. I hope this is an okay way to do this. To get my thoughts down and about what I'm doing, and then I will actually, like I said, clean it up and um, finish it up. Because I think if I read correctly, um, you can record more of the process if you'd like, but 1 hour should be sufficient for the reflection task. That is, you only need to video for the first hour, but likely need more time to finish the memo, which you do not have to record. Okay, so good. I'm almost done with an hour, and then I will upload things and, like I said, clean up my memo, get everything turned in. Okay, I went through most of my notes here, I think. And then this, I forgot where I got this from, but this is probably the key that we need to make sure we do it in small steps, so they don't get frustrated. So I'm going to just put that over there so I remember it. And I'll figure out where it came from when I get ready to put it in. Okay, let me see if there's anything else up here I wanted to use. I got everything for my notes there. I was trying to find more information there. That was my... Oh, here's a different one. Oh no, that one I don't need. This one we've used. That was the one I just used. That one I've used. I think there was one more from my Delicious account. Maybe not. If there's anything else I want to look for in here. Problems with it. I think this is an interesting one from a student's perspective. They show the great adoption of technology among even young students, but lingering resistance on the part of school administrators to sanction some of the tools in the classroom. Okay, so in other words, two major obstacles: filters that stop them from accessing websites they need for homework, and bans on using their own mobile devices. And there are ways to use those that have learned. So, but again, that's not really kind of what we're focusing on right now. So, um, other than that, is one of the schools providing what the resources so that teachers can do this. So the majority of high school teachers, principals, and parents think that we're doing a good job of using technology. Less than half of the students. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Um, in bringing your own device, teachers are no parents are way down on it. Administrators are more or less okay. Well, not really because they're under 50%. But the kids of both grades are really would like to use it. Um, that's just interesting statistics. I'm a statistics person. So what else should we probably don't need any more thing here. It's just okay, I have to click on this. Um, Suppose with a strong curriculum foundation, um, teachers need to feel that they count. So as you're planning, how effectively planning by teachers and technology leaders working together result in more effective technology use. That's kind of what we're going for here. And while our newbie teacher isn't necessarily the technology leader, um, in the sense of being hired by the school to be a technology leader, there's usually tech people that take that role. But um, this could be something that works with putting the two of them together. Um, and teachers need to get involved. Okay, again, here's the needs that we need to address. So I'm going to put this on my paper, and then I'm going to work this in. So I'm just going to kind of copy these two paragraphs. So I think these are the keys right here. And I think I have enough to finish up my memo here. This came from Neil or Nellie. Okay, so I am going to end my hour presentation, and I am going to work on getting this all cleaned up so I can get everything submitted.